This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
She's just a slob.
It is 8:38. Tuesday morning, which Lowry is the editor of the National Review, but he's on Fox News a lot these days, a lot, which I happen to enjoy. And last time I saw Rich, I was in the airport in Milwaukee, and he got out that day and I didn't. I know Rich got a kick out of the New York Times article about, well, me and Trump and a bunch of others this weekend. Here's our good friend, Rich Lowry. Rich, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we have something important in common. We both think George Santos is funny and charming.
I know.
I'm not going to be visiting him in jail, but
I do. What can I tell you? I'm not going to defend whatever he did wrong, and neither will he at this point. You know, we always do until it's indefensible. But I do like the guy. He is charming. You saw the New York Times article this weekend, Rich, and you write, of course, you're the editor for the National Review, and somebody said to me, the New York Times is a liberal rag. We know that, but a lot of folks still read it, and you're in there, your show's in there, so who really cares what they said? But it's just good to have you in that column. How do you feel about that? You agree with that?
Yeah. I think it's good to be included, and it's good to have their condescension. If they're not condescending towards you, you're not doing your job right. And the idea that this is a low difficulty show. Other shows that just asked me about polling, you might come out with, Rich, name everyone who's been a manager of the Yankees and the Mets, You come up with hard stuff, Sid. So this is not an easy show. The New York Times is wrong yet again.
There's only 5 of those men, It's funny you bring that up. There's 5 of them. How many could you name?
I meant to look this up before saying it. Obviously, Casey Stengel.
Correct.
Joe Torre, Yogi.
3.
Then it gets hard. Is it like
the most recent one, very recent.
Oh, Buck.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you're missing one.
So who's a 5th? Is it was it a former infielder or something?
No,
not Trevino or
no. His first name is a huge city in the state of Texas.
Oh, Dallas. Dallas, what's his name?
Dallas Green. So those are the 5.
Green.
Those are the 5, yes. They managed both the Mets and the
Yankees.
That was the 90s? Yes. I think it was after Jeff Torborg or something like that. I don't know. So they
there you go. That was hard.
Right. What do you mean low difficulty? What, are you kidding me? Yes. I mean, look, if Trump is on the show, I ask him all the questions that need to be asked. The only difference is, and this is where this write-up of the Times is a moron, when he goes on these liberal channels, they answer the question for him, they beat him up, and then by the time he talks, it's over with. Yeah. I ask him the same exact questions about the same exact points, but I let him talk. I don't set it up by going, Mr. President, your abortion thing is horrible. Tell me about it. I don't do that. So that doesn't make it low difficulty. It makes it fair.
Yeah, and you can a friendly interview can be a good interview, as you say. If you're not hostile, and let the person talk. You might, how many times did the Times mention the thing you got from them about the Jews, right?
Right.
the good Jews and the bad Jews.
Yeah. Now that's turned out to be huge. I mean, he said that with Sebastian Gorka even before this show, but for some reason the news cycle here lasts a little longer. It's a New York radio show, I guess. But it's been going on for weeks, and of course I called Doug Emhoff, who's going to speak tonight, a crappy Jew. But one of the things that I also mentioned to Trump in the conversation was I'm a little tired of the Trump needs to be nice. And I have to tell you, Rich, I fight. I literally fight with people every day, on and off the show, including O'Reilly last week. I think that is so overstated. And when I watched night 1 of this ridiculous event last night, and all they did, whether it was AOC or Hillary Clinton, anyone, or Kathy Hochul, they destroyed them. Now, don't tell me they did the same thing in Milwaukee, because I was there. You're wrong. In Milwaukee, they found a way to say nice things about Trump, and they beat up Biden a little. In Chicago, all they do is beat up Trump. That's it. So don't tell me he has to be a nice guy.
Yeah, the Republican convention and the assassination attempt worked in the sense that a lot of these polling now, Trump has his highest favorable rating ever, which is great. And I don't think there's anything at the Democratic convention they're going to say about Trump that's going to convince anyone not to favor Trump. It should all be about pumping up Kamala. And I mean, she's had one of the most amazing 3 weeks in presidential politics, at least since Donald Trump had his amazing 3 weeks, and the race is still kind of where it is. Maybe she's ticked ahead a little bit in the national polling, but it's basically tied. This thing is going to be a barn burner down the stretch.
I agree. Boy, did they show the current president the ultimate disrespect. They can call keynote. That's a fancy word, but to have this guy speak on a Monday night when most people are first arriving, they're having dinner at the Capitol Grill, they don't really start showing up. I've done this now till like Wednesday and Thursday. Monday night for the outgoing president of the United States
at 11:30 p.m. Eastern.
Right. I mean, how disrespectful.
I don't think they're upset about that. She needs separation from him. I mean, and they had to give him a night, but I don't think they're upset that he was pushed out of prime time. Because he's a hugely unpopular president.
But they're so phony. Because here's Pelosi saying, we love Joe. Then she goes, listen, I did what I had to do. And we know the Obamas, who both are going to speak tonight, Barack and Michelle, they both hate Biden's guts. So, they keep pushing this unity thing. And it's hard to believe because it seems like just yesterday we were talking about Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and Mitt Romney and all these lousy people. But the truth is the Republicans at this point under Trump are much more unified than this joke of a Democrat Party.
I don't know about that because I don't think there are any Biden loyalists. I think that the Biden loyalists are the immediate family and advisors who have been with him 20 years.
Yeah, but they were all Biden loyalists 2 months ago.
I know, but that was all phony. It was all fake.
That's my point. So isn't this phony now, too?
The way Kamala's just a vehicle. She's a cardboard cutout of a politician.
Right. So what I'm saying is the Republicans, and some still hate Trump, I know that. There's probably a bunch of them. But they really love him. Do any of these people, did they ever really love Joe? Do they really love Kamala?
No. They're vehicles. She is a teleprompter reader. That's what she is, and an image. And it's better than Biden. I mean, that speech was pathetic last night. The guy is a relic. He tells the same lies over and over again about Trump and Charlottesville and all the rest of it. So they chose wisely. Pelosi and Obama and all the rest of them. If nothing else, they're cold-blooded and clear-eyed, and they realized Biden was very likely going to lose, and now it's a competitive race again. So one of my favorite images last night was Pelosi with the "We Love Joe" stick chanting, but then you could see her eyes kind of darting around. She obviously in the Agatha Christie murder mystery, a lot of suspicion would focus on her.
So what do you think? Again, it is a close race. I think a lot of people think the debate will be the deciding factor, but I've had people on the show in the last week, Joe Beningo, John Kaczmatidis, one of the smartest guys I know, and they really believe that Kamala is not going to debate. Now, I don't know how she's not going to do it because what's going to be her excuse? I mean, I look at it like Trump wins either way. If he debates her, he's going to kill her. And if she doesn't debate him, then he can say, look, she backed out because she knows she would have lost. How does she win that battle?
Yeah, I think she's got to debate him. And I wouldn't be so certain he's going to kill her. I mean, she will prepare to the max. She's memorizing note cards as we speak, and she'll have like 30 memorized lines about every potential topic and question. And if she just ties them, if she just does okay, that's a victory.
But how's she going to do it? But listen, when he says to her, the borders are. When he says to her, you bailed out all of these people that burned down and terrorized our cities. I mean, I understand she can call him a convicted felon like they did last night 100 times. I get that. I put away very, very bad people like you, Mr. President. I get that. That's all she's got. He's got 10, 20 different things to work with. How could she possibly not lose?
Well, on the border, she'll say, I wasn't the border czar. And she'll say, crossings have reduced by 50%. And we had this wonderful bipartisan bill that you killed. It doesn't have to be truthful or make any sense. A lot of stuff she just needs something to say, and they'll give it to her. So Trump needs to have a really good debate. There's no doubt about it. But she's going to prepare and have all these memorized lines. So he better prepare too.
So you're pretty sure she's going to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be really hard to. Having agreed to back out.
Yeah, me too. It'll make it worse, actually. Well, listen, you're the best, and of course we do this throughout the week.
You are, Sid. Happy Radio Day.
Thank you, Rich. You Thank you for doing this. We'll do it again next week, buddy. Thank you so much. All right, that's the great Rich Lowry, editor of the National Review.